This is day one of buying Bitcoin every single day until the top of the next cycle. All right, guys, so if you guys have been following the channel, you know we did something very similar to this last cycle that worked out very well. And this time around, we plan on doing it even better. So make sure you guys pay attention here. Last cycle, we actually started buying $10 worth of Bitcoin every single day, starting at the halving in April of 2024, where the price of Bitcoin was around $60,000. And we stopped the experiment and took our profits in September of 2025, basically just before the top of the cycle where Bitcoin was around $120,000. So that would be basically 100% gain if we had just gone all in at the $60,000. But obviously the price is fluctuating throughout that entire time. So what we actually ended up with was a profit of about 40% profit in just over 1 year. So pretty good results. Obviously that wasn't the only Bitcoin that we were accumulating throughout that cycle. We accumulated way lower. This was just kind of like a fun thing that we did. But before I get too much into, what happened last cycle, let me talk about what we're doing differently this year. And that is obviously starting much earlier. Right now, we're about 2 years away from the next Bitcoin halving, which is happening in April of 2028. So we have, all of that time to accumulate before then. So it's basically 2 years, just doing some quick math in my head right now, but it's going to be about, $7,000 that we're going to be acquiring before we even get to the halving next year. And then after that, let's say that we have 1 more year before we actually reach the cycle top. So it'll be about $10,000, give or take, that we actually are stacking before we decide to stop the experiment and take our profit. All right, guys, I hope you guys are following me here. I'm just going to take a seat real quick so I can really lock in. The best part about this strategy is that you're actually, obviously accumulating a little bit of Bitcoin every single day. So it really helps when, the price starts pumping. It helps you to not actually FOMO in at the highs because you've been accumulating for however many days since you started, right? And another thing, it actually really helps you to not capitulate at the lows, because in the back of your mind, you're just like, well, it's a set and forget. I'm acquiring that Bitcoin still just steadily. And, I'm going to let the price do its thing. And eventually it's going to go back up. The key to this is that you want to be doing this with an amount of money that you're not really noticing coming out of your bank account. But obviously, you still want to be acquiring as much as possible without breaking the bank. So as far as what I'm assuming is going to be happening with the price going forward, I'm definitely at least hoping to see some lower prices throughout the rest of the year, going into the summer, towards the end of the year. I'd love to be able to stack some Bitcoin, in that $50,000 range, between 50 and 60,000. If it goes lower, even better. I'm going to just let that $10 ride. And it's not going to be the only Bitcoin that we're accumulating. Obviously I'm setting aside some for some lump sums for those big juicy dips. Like I said, this strategy really allows you to not capitulate when those dips happen, but it gets you excited for those dips to come, right? So obviously I can't say exactly what's going to happen, right? Maybe this is going to be a terrible idea. Maybe it's going to be the best thing ever, or something a little bit in between. But I'm going to be keeping you guys updated on this channel. So if you want to follow along, make sure you guys subscribe, even leave a comment, ask some questions if you have any. So just a quick overview of the plan. We're starting in April of 2026. Plan to be doing this for about 3 years. That's like the typical length of a bull market. Hopefully that we have not bottomed just quite yet, so we can actually scoop up some Bitcoin at some lower prices. We're going to be adding some lump sums in along the way, as well as this dollar cost averaging every day of $10 that we're going to be doing. So lots of stuff that's going to be going on. We definitely want to be stopping this and taking the profits at the top of the cycle. So, be weary of that update, because this is now my second cycle, basically timing the top perfectly. I'm planning on doing it a third time. We're going to catch the bottom of the cycle for a third time as well. And yeah, we're just going to keep winning, guys. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully see you guys in the next video. Peace.